I'm here today to ask you to run for elected office. What? You say you're not a politician? You're just a regular person? Then you're exactly who your community and our country needs. Being in elected office isn't that different from what you do and have experienced in your life. How do I know? Because I ran, and I'm just starting my second full term as mayor of Cayce, South Carolina. All the worries, all the skepticism and doubt you feel, I've felt too. Too much of a challenge, you think? Have you ever gone after the same promotion as a colleague? The same client as a competitor? Ever thought differently about the best solution than those around you? Have you ever tried negotiating with the repairman? If you have no challenge in your life, then can we please be friends? But most of us have had to learn how to work well with others. The same skills you use in your daily job, tact, diplomacy, and an interest in working towards a better goal, are things we need more of in elected office. Too much fundraising, you think? Well, if you believe in something, it gets easier to do. Have you ever helped your kids, the baseball team, the neighborhood kids, with selling cookie dough, wrapping paper, Girl Scout cookies, chocolate bars, magazines? Have you ever raised money for a nonprofit? We do it when it matters, and this matters. When I was first elected, I didn't have fancy consultants running my campaign. My campaign was headed up by two other moms like me. Our support staff consisted of 6 kids aged 2 to 5. Us moms would meet at the kitchen table while our support staff would play in the living room. And on occasion, the support staff would jump on the furniture or throw a toy or start fighting. The only mudslinging we had in our campaign actually consisted of real mud. So you're not a poli-sci major or a lawyer. That's not a problem. That's a good thing. We need more diversity in the backgrounds of our elected officials. What you bring to the table is a unique perspective. And the more of those we have, the better solutions we can create, and the more representative of our communities we are. On our Cayce Council, we are diverse in age, race, gender, socioeconomic status, and education. We have a nurse, an accountant, a steel worker, a fundraiser who used to be a police chief, and me, a public health university professor. Our strength is in our diversity. We think about things differently, so we're able to be more successful and to come up with more thoughtful, representative solutions. Don't know how to be an elected official, you say? Well, have you always known how to do every aspect of the job you do now? The same conscientiousness you used to learn that, you would use to learn this as well. When I was first elected, I was sworn in 5 days later. I ran my first council meeting that night. I had never, ever used Robert's Rules of Order before. I barely even knew what it was. I wasn't in Key Club or student government in high school. I hadn't been in elected office before. So I spent the 5 days after being elected learning more. Of course, being a great elected official isn't just about Robert's Rules of Order. It's a lot about customer service and even more about advocating for and planning for the future of your community. A typical day for me might include phone calls, emails, meeting with someone who wants to bring business to the city, running our council meeting, and reading the letters from the 3rd grade class who wants us to change the laws to allow chickens in the city, which we did. We all have ideas about what it's like to be in elected office, from movies, from TV, ideas from what real-life politicians are doing in the media. But the reality is, no surprise, by and large, it's not quite like that. Day to day, you get to be just a regular person. You're just trying to solve problems for others, the same way you solve problems at work or at home. Well, that's all good, but there's not enough time, right? Do you volunteer at church? Do you volunteer at your kid's school? Do you serve on a board or foundation? Making those meetings and supporting those commitments are the same as making city council meetings or school board meetings and supporting those commitments. Our Cayce City Council members all work full-time and give of themselves to make our community better as well. When I was first elected, our son was 4 and our daughter was 3. And I used to cringe that for a while, the only way our daughter would emulate me would be to throw a purse of some sort over her shoulder and say, "Bye, I'm going to a meeting." But now I see that in her eyes, she will never doubt that she can do this or anything else as well. Maybe you're scared of not winning if you run. Have you always gotten every client you ever sought? Every job for which you ever interviewed? Even if you don't win, you can change the dialogue. You can get people talking about the important issues and ethics, and you gain insight into how hard good elected officials work to make a positive difference. If we all run or serve in office at some point, we'll be more likely to support others when they do so, and we'll be better able to understand the issues that are being impacted. And we'll know what ethics looks like, and therefore know how to accept nothing less. So how do you dip your toe in this water? How do you try on this big idea worth spreading? Talk to me or another elected official. Ask questions, get advice, learn about the issues that we're impacting. Volunteer for a campaign, see how it works. Attend a city council meeting, a county council meeting, attend a session at the State House. See what an elected official does. Just as when Uncle Sam said during World War I and World War II, "We want you," because our country couldn't have made it otherwise, our country can't make it now without you running for elected office. Thank you.